red deck, I'm just effed. I don't care, though. It's fine. I'm obviously playing Suicide Black. I have a special place in my heart for this deck. I think it's very cool. It's not the most versatile of decks. This hand's really close. It's one land away from a keep on the play. Eeh. All right, I'm going to YOLO it. I'm going to try this one out.
Okay.
There are a lot of really great draws for this hand, but there are a lot of ways this hand just does nothing. So, go.
Oh, Sui Black.
Go Carnophage. Playing Sly. It'd be great if you're on Sly. I'll just be like, all right, well, I already lost the game.
Yeah, time to scoop it up, buddy.
No. All right, Green's not as bad. All right. If it's fire's a little tougher. All right, yep, we're taking our damages here, taking our lumps. Yeah, I'd love to pay the 1 life. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, you know what? Like, F it. We're just going to keep our opponent back because he probably has Blastoderms and, like, shit like that I don't really want to see. Given Blastoderm's not coming out, but what I vision in my mind is a turn 3 fires into a Blastoderm into, like, I'm just dead. So I'm going to try to hold that back. We'll see. Like, Wall of Roots. All right, another elf, but no lands. All right. I like this. We take a bazillion damage from our terrible cards.
I actually played the wrong elf.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be. What elf would have been better there?
Queer Ranger?
Yeah, that would have been better. All right, unfortunately, we are missing our marks on land droppage here, so that's not good. The Phyrexian Negator in my hand is looking awfully bad. There's the. Oh, he's on straight up elves. I think we have Perish in the sideboard of this thing, which should be good in this matchup, so we can actually play. Like, this build is kind of set up to play a little bit of control. It's got like Masticore and like crap like that. Which Masticore is going to be good in this matchup. Curse Scroll if we get the land count. Oh, Jesus. All right, well, he's only got 1 forest to the minimum, which means Raphaelos isn't exceedingly spooky, but we may just need a block right now. Yeah. I think we still pay the life here. Okay, very, very solid draw there. Just play this gentleman out.
That one's a good one.
And I think he is, yeah. The shadow guys are obviously quite good. I guess I could have attacked there, but I think it's probably better to be able to block. I mean, taking 4 for 2, well, 3 essentially. No, 5 for 2 seems like a bad exchange rate, especially when I'm holding a card like Hatred in my hand, which pretty much does nothing. All right, Priest Titania. All right, well, the mana is plentiful. Look like Crater Hoof Behemoth's not in this format. I don't know what he's going to cast. Like, what is there? Like, is it Kamal? Yeah, Kamal or whatever his name is. Is that the card you guys use in this format? The Fist of Krosa, who, like, pumps all the dudes?
Kind of.
There's other something along those lines.
Play stuff like Elvish Champion and stuff like that in this deck.
Okay. Yeah, that's an old school one. I was actually playing that in a green mirror match the other night, and it was obviously awkward because it gives Forest Walk to everything.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah, the minimum Forest Walk is not highly relevant, but the bonuses to the creature cards are. So he could be taking up to 8 next turn if he has it. Has a Bloodline, whatever this thing is, draw card, dude. Bloodline Shaman.
I still haven't drawn another forest yet.
Well, that's actually probably pretty bad for me. With Priest Titania, I don't think you're going to be short on mana here.
No.
I actually would be happy if you drew lands at this point, because Raphaelos has gone out of being relevant, I think. And it's possible I did not want to kill Llanowar Elves. All right, Masticore, well, that's a beating. That's going to kill my team. Can I beat that thing? Probably not.
Just trying to
I guess we can always try. Do I cast something or kill my stuff? I don't think it's going to matter, to be honest with you. Whether you kill my stuff or you cast something here. Killing my stuff is probably the safest in the dark, but I'm just letting you know my hand probably isn't going to beat a Masticore regardless. From this position.
I'm just going to help you out here.
Okay. Hey, get rid of that life loss. That's good. That's good right there. All right. It is dead. All right, Elvis Champion. Are we just dead here? Not quite.
Not quite, but it's gonna help.
Puts me down to a what?
2.
The old 2. So I can hatred for 1.
Yeah, can't kill me with
Actually, I
that.
don't think I could. I'm trying to think. Lake of the Dead would actually allow me to cast it. All right, so we're gonna go in for an attack here. Oh, yep, they automatically do that. I don't have to click them. See what happens.
All right,
Do they get through? All right, not gonna query and Ranger bounce, I guess. So we'll get the damage in, or maybe he is. All right, and then we can do something pretty cool here. We can bring my opponent down to 5. So Dark Ritual and Combat Spite. Take that. The card is sweet. I love that card. Like I think it's. I was telling someone that sometimes I want to just run more than one deck.
It's actually really good.
It is. It's a great finisher. It's actually like so. You look at that like even like that horribly far away from working to win the game. Negator seems pretty bad here. I think we want to sideboard into more control options. That seems good. This actually seems quite good as well. Probably a little bit less of this action right here, though. Although it's not a bad card. I probably don't want Hatred in this matchup. I'm probably just a beatdown deck. Scroll is obviously not a bad one in this creature matchup of sorts. I actually don't mind the discard because that can actually win outside of a Masticore like Lockout. Could even bring in my own Masticores, but 4 is a lot of mana, and my opponent's going to have a lot more mana than I will. So they would be happier with the other options here. Alrighty. Well, we're going to sub this one, see how it does. We are now a Hatredless Hatred deck.
Darn it.
Okay, this hand is probably too marginal to keep. You know what? Though? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. Probably famous last words, but I'm gonna try it here. I think this duress I have in my hand is probably really bad against my opponent. We're gonna be able to see here. They may have like something along the lines. So I'm gonna unmask. I'm gonna turn it into an unmask. All right, they have 2 forests, Findhorn elves. All right, this hand's a little slower. And there's Kamal. That is the way they win. So we guessed that accurately. I think what I want to do here is just get rid of the Findhorn elves.
It's either that or the Rafellas.
Yeah, it just depends on if I have a way to deal with the Rafellas or not. I'd rather early mana development off. All right, did not draw an elf, which is good for us. Okay, well, I think here we have to just ritual. Play this gentleman out. Huh. All right, your go.
All right. Let's just
okay.
Put that.
Yes, sir. Would have been really nice last turn to have. All right, we're just going to go ahead and get rid of the Aerophilos here. Not that I'm a huge fan of Snuff Out still being in the deck, but I think it's the best I can do here.
Definitely not a bad card, though.
No, very strong card. I mean, it's obviously a lot better in the decks that run like fewer creatures, like fewer little dudes. The problem is going to be I don't know if I can race. All right, land would be quite good here. Okay, well, decidedly not a land. So I think we're just going to pitch that because we know their hand at least before did not contain any creatures. So it's Tangle Wire. So I could have dressed that. Do I care about Tangle Wire? Yes, it's actually very bad for us. This is a card engine, and this is crap ton of mana. So if they play the Bloodline Shaman and the guy is Cradle, that puts them to infinite or damn near buttload of mana. But Tangle Wire kind of beats me. Well, this may not be a good matchup for Suicide Black. The sad truth is I think I just take Tangle Wire here because I'm not going to be able to bust out of this lock. And I'm going to have to just draw into removal here. I think that's the best option I have. The best choice among many shitty choices.
Yep.
Obviously, in retrospect, I mean, it would have been nicer to cast the Duress, but we did not. A Rishadan Port, well, that can tap down my mana and probably will this turn as they play out a Bloodline Keeper. Back up to life unless they want to attack here. Sweet Rebecca Guayart on the Bloodline Shaman. Obviously not the most relevant commentary, but then again, I'm just going to get beat to death in this game, more than likely. Okie doke. I'm going to play this out.
Okay. Sure.
It could enable a follow-on play into another shadow creature, depending on what I draw. So it's possible you may want to tap it with the Rishport. We'll see.
I'd rather keep you off of the black.
Yeah. Get another Bloodline dude. Okay. What do we see? Forest? Okay, well, that doesn't go to hand, right?
Nope. Does not.
Nope. Otherwise, put it in your graveyard, which is nice because you want to draw more land. Plenty of lands. You are one short, actually, though, on casting the Kamal, which is nice. Not that you per se want to this turn. I don't know.
Well, I could cast it this turn.
Can you?
3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, nope.
Nope, you have 5. You have
short.
5 mana, I believe. Yep.
That's okay. That's okay. Next turn.
Yep, he is a beatdown. Alright, so...
yeah.
I do have a few game-winning cards that can actually get me out. That's fine. Well, that right there was not a game-winning card by any means, but it's a card that keeps me alive from Kamal beatdown for a little bit.
Those Duresses are amazing for you.
They're amazing for pitching. To my 40 million unmasked, I'm displaying. I'm pretty much giving a little shop on a workshop on card advantage here. Because
Okay.
I've got 3 permanents in play and 1 card in hand, and I've cast a bazillion spells. But yeah, I think. Oh Jesus. That's a metric beating.
I like drawing cards.
Oh, more of those dudes. At a minimum, they're not going to get Kamal fist pumped into my face this turn. All right. I'm wondering now. So, am I dead next turn? I actually think it depends on what you draw or have. I think it actually may have made more sense not to use the Bloodline Shaman there to put me to dead on the following turn. Because my outs are draw swamp, draw perish, and I could probably win from there.
Well,
or I can at least establish a semblance of board parity, and I have a threat left. I mean, that's my best plan right now. I obviously don't have the perish in hand right now, but so that's to be pretty much exactly like perish, then into swamp, or swamp into perish is like my sequence of draws. I want to try to win this. All right. Yep.
Port your swamp. Hopefully you don't have perish. Where's swamp perish?
I do not have perish, but I have that. Take it. Taking it like a champ, right?
Yep. He's definitely a champ.
That is one of the few cases where I actually saved myself life by taking damage. Not that it's good. Definitely not saying it's good.
There you go. This is perish.
This is perish right here.
Can't perish this.
No, I cannot perish a Masticore. I don't think I can snuff out a Masticore. No, I can be snuffed out.
Alright, let's just draw a card just in case you discard my other one.
Oh, Tangle Wire? That seems like it's maybe pretty good. I don't know. You probably don't want to cast that. I mean, it may just tie up your mana too much, you know?
Well,
The Gaia's Cradle, you know.
Don't draw it anyways, it's okay.
So we possibly could have mulliganed better this game, looking at it. I did kind of draw awkwardly. Drew 2 unmasks and 1 additional snuff out, which is not really where we want to draw. Kind of want to draw some more mana sources, but it is a mana light deck. Oh, what does Jordan tap? All right, Swamp. Alrighty. Oh, it's an exciting draw. If you want to die. Well, Dothy Slayer is not really good at blocking, and he must attack every turn, so I'll let MTGO automatically make him attack for me and get him my 2 against an opponent, draw, gaining 4 life a turn. So we're baiting 2 of that. It's pretty important here. All right, they get to discard their card, but they have the Bloodline Shaman to hopefully make some cards up if they don't want to discard that. Okay, Lead Forest. That is good. And what is the last card? Gaia's Cradle in your hand?
Nope. It was
why is that?
forest.
Why is that? Oh, no, it got ditched. That's right. You revealed it off the Bloodline Keeper. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I'll take a bunch of damage. Alright. Well, now our draws are, I think, they're 0%. We're going to see. But if he doesn't tap my swamp, they're not 0%. Well, actually, no, they're still 0%. I still got the Masticore. You can actually do stone nothing here, and I don't think I can possibly win.
Well, I'm going to tap your city just in case you draw that swamp for your parish.
So...
I think you got a ritual anyways, so...
I do have a ritual in hand. But I did not draw it. I drew a swamp. And... Actually, I think my hand was probably fairly difficult to tell what it was. There's a lot of double black cards in this. So, I mean, it could have been a ritual there. But it was a good chance it was just like a Doughty Slayer or like some other bad card. Like some other bad unblockable dude. So the one cool thing about the Suicide Black deck, to kind of bring it back home and stop the goofiness, is that it actually is a very solid deck against the blue style decks of the format. Probably much more so than like the Elves, because depending on how the blue is made, if it's a blue combo deck, Elves is probably okay. But against like the board control style decks that have like Wrath of Gods and stuff, Elves will tend to languish a little more. Whereas a deck like Suicide Black is just so quick to get underneath, permission. And it's generally quicker than getting to 4 mana, especially on the play for Wrath of God, that it can generally tend to out-tempo a lot of the control decks in the format. But when it plays against a more fair deck, it tends to have some issues, as you're seeing here. And we are quite dead. Good game, my man.
Yeah, GG's.
All right. I actually have another one I built recently. Do you want to play one more of those?
Yeah, sure.
All right, man. I'm going to put it up. I have not played this deck in a while. This is actually one of my favorite old decks. Well, not old decks, but I guess pre-modern decks. I don't think it's the best, but it is very fun to play. So I enjoy it. I do think it's also quite good.
Eli built all the hardcore annoying creature and combo decks of the format, so...
You know, he was telling me he was just like collecting all the deck lists up and just building, tons of crap. I'm like, I kind of just brewed some of my own. I did copy and paste a couple net decks on it just to, play some against him because I knew he had probably stronger decks that had been researched more heavily. This build right here, what's that?
He likes to be 100% on stuff, which is good.
Oh no, I don't disagree with that at all. I mean, so my thing is like it just varies on the day. Like if I'm playing to win, I'll net deck a deck all the hell. I don't care. But in a lot of these cool kind of like weird niche formats, one of the draws to it, at least to me, is the brewing aspect, which it's harder to get nowadays with the internet and just all the crazy like the access to all kinds of shit about decks, etc.
Oh, that's for sure. Back then we had like the Magic Dojo and Brainburst.
Yeah, Usenet and Brainburst, Asylum, all that. Inquest, Scry. Like if you want to go back to magazines, like literal printed product. on
Yeah.
the game. All right, so Rishport is interesting. I think that means I probably want to up my land count, so I'm just going to cast a Yavimaya Granger out. If we're playing against Sly, I think this is probably a pretty favorable matchup. It just depends on the level of land destruction they have available to them. Probably need a Swampy Swamp. All right, there you go.
Are you playing survival?
I am playing Rexer. I am a huge Rexer fan. Like, I know it's a little ever, but I love the toolbox nature of the Rexer's decks. This is a brew of my own. I'm not going to say it's not a deck that probably is very similar to a lot of others. You just tap your own land? Oh, shit,
yeah.
Man. That's generally not... Oh, man, I'm sorry, brother. No.
Yeah,
I can die.
It happens, whatever.
That it does, man. I think here what we end up doing is trying to go for a land card and play a Wall of Blossoms, which tends to be good against Sly. So we went from like one bad matchup to another bad matchup, kind of. All right, so Mr. This is a bad matchup for Jordan. Sly has generally tended to have troubles against Living Death deck. All right, well, he's playing Gobos at a minimum, so he has some card advantage. Gem Palm Incinerator can knock out my Birdie Birds. Sharpshooter is kind of annoying. Patriarch's Bidding. He's got two of them, so I'm probably not going to try to take that. I think what we're going to do here is take the Sharpshooter. Yeah. Take the shooter. No one wants to see a shooter.
No, right now you don't.
This is going to be a bizarre game because we're both basically running a Living Death deck.
Yep.
And you can boo Jordan for having his ugly Zendikar Expedition, Wooded Foothills, and me for having and white bordered Brushland, which I intentionally played. I have the black border. I just like to troll myself.
Alright.
Yep. Done. I don't have to take a damage off that. That's pretty good value right there. That's a big last. All right, I think we're just gonna get this nonsense going right here. If he's gonna attack our mana, we're just gonna continue to develop our mana. Say, hey man, what's up?
Alright.
Probably just get a forest here and say go.
Alright. Oh man.
All right, time to ring lead. Have a pretty good blocker here that I probably am not going to pay Echo on.
Nope.
All right, just a sharpshooter. One. Okay.
It's a sharp one.
He is a shooter of the sharpness. Yeah, no. At least we can let this thing die in peace right now, and the sharpshooter will, because it still has Summoning Sickness, not untap and kill all my crap all at once. So all of my stuff is going to die here relatively soon. Well, options. Well, one sharpshooter is probably good enough to make me not want to play a bunch of crap out. So I'll probably just give them a second sharpshooter and hope to get into a Living Death draw. I'm going to go ahead and get the Granger here. And I'm going to auto-yield to this dude. What's that now? Yeah, Recurring Nightmare is just dumb.
Yeah.
But you are getting your card back at least.
Thanks, man.
No problem, man. I'm a sharer, like, dude. You know, I mean, like, we gotta work as a team here. You know, just build up my mana base indiscriminately huge. Black. I'll play another Recurring Nightmare out. My birds is probably not long for this world, so I'm probably just gonna get a Wall of Blossoms to just block stuff and draw into more cards.
Well, let's draw some cards.
Okay.
Well, that was interesting.
Interesting is good.
1, 2,
Okay, another sharpshooter. And possibly a wrist shot in port turn, or you could burn off my Yavimaya Granger, but that doesn't seem like it's that high value, unless he expects that I'm going to try to echo it, which, as a hint, I'm probably not. I don't really care about the 2-2.
No.
I could. All right, so you get to dome me for 2 here, essentially. So zap and then zap.
I've got a plan.
Okie doke. Oh, you're going to zap my Wall of Blossoms, all right.
I am.
And you're going to cycle to kill it? Okie doke. My wall is now dead. Actually, you'll get 3 untapped. So you have to do 1 to me down to 16 plus 2, 3 more out of the Wall of Blossoms. So it's 5 damage swing with the cycler. I'm down with that. It means my mana is open this turn, which is not horrible, but he's probably not going to stop me on mana development here. Being fair. One thing of note, we have not hit Survival of the Fittest yet, which would actually be probably one of our better draws here.
That would be gross.
Yeah, Survival with if you haven't seen it, Survival with Recurring Nightmare is a sight to behold. It's just disgusting value. All right. Yep. And then all the untapped triggers on the other sharpshooter come off the stack, and all of our crap is dead.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so I'm gonna just play a Humble Forest down here, but play a Radiance Dragoons out to gain a bunch of life. This card's also sweet, like way overcosted Rebel dude.
Is it even a rebel?
We are gonna. He is.
No, he's not. He's
a human soldier. I thought he was a rebel. I don't know why. My memory's getting bad, I guess. The question is, do we want a wall or do we want just a Granger? I think I'm just going to go for a Granger here, and if my opponent wants to try to kill it, cool. They're not going to kill it this turn. I just want to get more mana out of my deck and make my top deck better. Yep. Always yield. All right, there we go. Yep. And pretty soon we're going to be actually out of basic lands in our deck. If we're not already, I probably should have checked that. I think I still have like 1 to 2 more, though. Yes, I would like to use that. All right, Swampy Swamp, and go.
All right. Okay.
And if we get into a lot of trouble, we can just continually loop the Radiance Dragoons to block nonsense. I always forget the Sharpshooter actually does not untap on its own, which is kind of actually good.
It's good for you.
It is. It is very good for me. All right, Scourge Prospector, well, that can combo pretty well with a Sharpshooter. That can kill us very fast. All right, Ringleader. Well, the Gobos are going to be flowing in spades now.
Maybe just a couple. Let's see.
I didn't see what your revealed zone was. All right, so there's a Lackey with no haste, another Ringleader. All right, so you basically drew into more cards.
All right.
You basically drew into a Lackey, which doesn't seem phenomenal unless you have a Siege Gang in your hand. So there is all of that. Alrighty. I'm going to sack to make mana, probably play Lackey out, damage my Granger. Alright, the Granger is now dead.
Let's start shooting you.
Okie doke. So click intensive.
I know.
Just like, yeah, man, I took lightning bolt damage. Got me.
Alright.
So he's going to set up a pretty big Patriarch's bidding, but he does not have the additional black mana. So we do have some options here. Alrighty.
1, 2, 3.
You can sack all of them and do another Ringleader, but then you would be out of shooters, which would probably be bad.
That would be
And obviously it would replenish your hand and set up a pretty nice Patriarch's bidding, if that's what you're going to go for. But you don't have haste on your dudes yet. And a Living Death would probably be pretty disastrous.
Well,
not horrific, but not great either.
No.
The trick now is, I think, to leave up. So, I guess that doesn't work. I was going to think in my head, like, maybe you could shoot a creature and actually play. I'll just play Recurring Nightmare before I play any creatures out that I want to sack to get of.
No.
Yeah, that doesn't work. So, I guess you just have to try to kill me at this point.
I think the only play that I could really do is probably this guy right here. I could play another Ringleader, but it's not going to do very much. So I'm just going to say go for now.
You don't want to attack with your sharpshooter?
Oh no.
Sure.
Not right now.
All right. Okay, so we have a few options here. I think what I like doing is just actually getting active against my opponent. This is not typically how this card is going to work. Do you know what I'm casting right here?
Oh, I haven't seen this deck in a long time.
I probably overtapped for this. Yeah, I did by one. Whatever.
Oh,
Akroma.
well, that one's good.
just a big old nonsense card. Just a way to win. It's actually really good against red too. It tends to be. Protection from like everything in your deck. I mean, Patriarch's bidding's one-sided, right? I can never remember.
Well, you could choose a creature type too. It goes into play.
I'm trying to remember Patriarch's bidding. I should reread the card. It's not quite living death, right? Yeah, it doesn't sacrifice the creatures as well.
Sacrifice them, no.
Yeah. So get in there for 6. Honestly, I don't know if this is going to be fast enough. So we're going to see. We're going to have to start doing some like Dragoon nonsense.
I'm trying to figure out a way I can kill that thing now.
Mastercore or like a bazillion curse scrolls, like 3 curse scrolls in a row, and like it is.
Yeah, it just totally wrecks my deck.
Anarchy would do it. It is obviously a singleton. It's not a. All right, there's the war leader or the war caller, whatever this thing is, war chief. That card's
War
spooky,
chief.
and then actually matron spooky as well.
Okay, let's sack some goblins, I guess.
Alrighty, let's do it. Start shooting the hell out of me. Probably need to find a bone shredder to start getting rid of some of these sharpshooters and other. All right, ringleader goes. All right, that thing goes.
All right, let's start shooting you a bunch.
Okay.
Oh my god, all this clicking. And that comes into play. Got one colorless left.
You can make more with the Skurk Prospector, but I think all the elements on the board are pretty essential right now.
Yep.
So I don't think you're probably sacking dudes. I mean, you could sack one of the sharpshooters, but I think sharpshooter's probably your route to victory in this game.
Sack a goblin. There's a
all right.
reason for that
I'm going
too.
to sack the mana engine, which is not horrible for me. Did you draw another one? You drew another one, I think.
Yeah.
Or you can get to another one. Yeah, you got another one in hand. Okie doke.
Alright. Let's see what I can do here. One, two, three, 4. Make sure that does what I think it does. Let's thin out our deck a little bit as well.
That is one of the cool things about Gabos is like a mono red deck in this format that actually does accrue a lot of card advantage.
Yeah.
Generally at the pace, or at loss of pace, I would say, but still just a great deck. Alright, so I'm going to cast this Gentleman out.
Okay.
I'm going to blow up this land right here.
That one's a good one.
Yeah, I really don't feel like getting blown out by Living Death at this point. I could have actually gone for Recurring Nightmare first, but yeah, I was going to say, like, I do need to get one more damage in to make the Akruma, if my opponent lets me, an actual clock. All right. So what I will do is play on a Recurring Nightmare.
Okie dokie.
a Wall of Roots. And I guess get rid of this dude, if I'm allowed to. Which is going to amount to 4 damage here. Really only took 1 to play the Wall of Roots here. But now my opponent basically has to kill me next turn, I want to say. Or else I win in the air with a Chroma. Got numerous blockers to kind of keep the ground down. And they both have very high toughness, or they're invulnerable to the sharpshooters. So I think it's going to be a tall order, but we'll see.
Well, we'll see.
The current Skirk Prospector can definitely do some nonsense here. So I'm definitely not counting you out of the race whatsoever.
Well, I guess.
All right, City of Brass. Okay, Skirk Prospector, so a bazillion mana with 5 cards. And, all right, Siege Gang, that's a lot of damage right there, but you're luckily... I guess you can turn them into mana. Well, the question is, are we dead? If we let this through, we're actually just not dead. So right now, I can just let the damage through, but you can turn it into damage on the sharpshooters. All right, so this on here, and this on a rando. And we will take 3 down to 9. You lose 2. Dome me for 2 more. Take 5 down to 7. It's going to be close. I think maybe you have me. Yep. Motor does some weird movement things where, like, my angel went to the other side of the board. And I'm like, where did it go? Interesting you're doing the block phase. My assumption is you possibly have... I don't know what. Okay, you're going to do damage to me. All right, you're going to turn them into damage. So actually, we probably are dead here. Siege Gang's probably just enough. Did you do the math? Is it like 3 more than you need?
It's interesting.
It's I think it is like going to be just barely enough.
I think it'll be okay. Like I could just slowly cycle my other stuff and deal 2 damage per.
Yep.
So even if you kill him with the Radiance Dragoons, it'd still be okay.
Yep.
Take my city damage.
And I am dead here. So the sharpshooters will untap and dome me for a bunch, then the Skirk Prospector will do the remaining amount. So basically, I think we were only really dead to... We knew the Skirk was in hand, but we were really only dead to the Siege Gang, and it's hard to tell if you drew that turn or if you had it from the turn prior in the draw step prior to casting the Ringleader out. You had it? Okay. Yes, you probably drew it in the last 2 turns before. All right, so tight game, but we should have some very good sideboard options against just red nonsense decks. Like more of this action right here. This card is actually quite good in the mirror. Or not in the mirror, but against this deck. Probably don't really need these guys. Mesmeric Fiend seems kind of bad in this matchup. Actually, this card seems asinine. Can your deck beat a Worship?
No.
So yeah, like, can this deck beat a Worship? Like, it probably could with like if you have Anarchy. But like, this deck doesn't run a lot of white creature cards. It runs like 3 white cards, maybe 4. No, it's got 5 in it now. All right, what does this dude do again? Destroy target enchantment. Yeah, that card's not good. Probably put in maybe Duress. Nah. I guess this is what, a 1/1. What does Uktabi blow up? Uktabi probably doesn't do anything, but it's better to have a 2/2 than it is a 1/1, I guess. Yeah, I'll put in an Uktabi. Why not? Alrighty.
Yeah, I think it's all in or nothing here.
What's that?
I think it's all in or nothing for me. This deck, anyways.
Oh yeah, Gabo. Well, Gabo's has some play to it, man. Like it advantage. You got to draw 2/3s out of it. So I mean, it can definitely grind card advantage, and I mean the mana engine is quite powerful. At one point, I think it actually played Aether Vial as well. All right, this hand is kind of marginal.
Yeah, like 5 years later.
True. That's true. It's yes, Kamigawa block right or something like that. I'm gonna mull this. All right, this hand's a lot better.
I'm gonna keep this because, you know, if it happens, it happens.
All right. This hand is hoping for a little bit to go right. It is. I won't say it's not. So this go.
All right. Okay, let's play this and this.
All right. This is actually a tougher call. I think what I want to do is this. Because it's going to be harder to remove with a cycling goblin than the other would do. All right, we'll play on our land and say go.
All right. Not the one I was looking for, let me tell you.
All right, Rashad and Port. Well, I will block here. I don't feel like gambling with that nonsense.
No?
You have a bolt. Cool. You got it. All right, 2 of them.
Goblin decks never ran bolts.
That's like true.
Super slide decks ran bolts.
I think here I want to leave Birdie Birds back, so I'm going to tap this and find some mana. Yep. Probably just find a force and say go.
All right.
All right, now if he has a cycler, he can remove my Yavimaya dude, the Granger. But I still have 2 blockers for the lackeys, and then I can do the other thing and afterwards. All right, Skirt Prospector to make manas.
I kind of kept the unreliable hand, so I'm really thinking.
Well, like Lackey, if you get to connect once with Lackey, like the power of it is so high. I think we're gonna say no to this. No, thank you. Okay. Well, this card does mono nothing, but I'm gonna cast it out regardless.
Nice.
I actually sideboarded in over a Monk Realist. Oops, I can't tap mana.
Okie dokie. Gridger.
Yes, sir. And one other forest. Probably Swampy Swamp. All right, that's going to set up my next turn pretty nicely, I think.
All right.
Well, mana is pretty well fixed. I mean, they're going to have to sacrifice a lot of gangers.
Definitely going to have to sacrifice lots of stuff.
Yeah. I think we say no to that. It's the last time we really can without losing some value. Okay. I think we're going to go for this first.
I think it's going to be weird because I might win the life race here.
You may. Sharpshooter's difficult, but the thing is, at the end of the day, like I do actually have some decent interaction in the deck. Like this dude right here, which is going to blow up this dude right here because I just don't want to ever see that, and I can probably start like recurring. So the deck's actually kind of a cool toolbox. That's kind of what I was going for, is to dig into some nonsense. All right, and your go. Is that good right there?
I didn't expect that. I'm just
he is a singleton in the sideboard. Like he's one of my utility dudes to like snipe things. I have like 1 Bone Shredder. I don't think it runs a Maw. I don't even know Maw is legal in this format. It's close.
No,
but it runs a Shredder. It runs one Fanatic just to do that, like to like loop and like blow things up. to keep me out of trouble.
Well, let's just deal some damage here.
Yep. I still think it was like, so just commentary for the viewers. I think it was still right for me, even though if he has a cycler, he's just gonna kill one of the things. But I think it was right for me to put the walls into play. One, I needed to dig a little deeper because my hand didn't have a lot of business going on in it before, so that was a thing.
Let's trade up the goblin.
Alrighty.
And I think this is better play. I think it'll be okay next turn. We'll do it next turn. Hopefully draw another bloody land.
Alrighty.
Get some more land.
Yeah, trying to get as much as I can out of the deck right now.
Thin it out a bit.
That's it, man. That's the idea at a minimum. And get you a third black source that's not painful for me to use. Alrighty, your go.
Okie dokie. Mountain. Not a mountain.
Okie doke. Swamp.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of weird. I might run out of time. Here, let's just make this clock work here.
Okay, sulfuric vortex.
Alright, and during your upkeep, I will tap your land.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye, mountain. Okay. No. I'll take it.
So I think here what we end up doing is recurring nightmare. We go ahead and get the Amog Fanatic, ditching the Avalanche Riders, blowing up the remaining source of red mana for our opponent, and then probably say go.
That was a good one. Not for me, though. Alright. No attackers.
Alrighty.
I'm going to say go.
Alrighty. Take some damages here. Yep. Another option I had last turn is I could have paid Echo on my dude. I'm going to play the Birdie Birds out. Go ahead and play out a recurring nightmare. I think I'm going to go ahead and just get Riders on the Avalanche here. Yeah, sure. We'll blow up a swamp. I could blow up a port. And go ahead and recurring nightmare into probably a Yavimaya Granger. Kind of a debate there, yep. We'll just do another swamp, because we are on a recurring nightmare draw right now. This is an awkward game.
Yep. Oh my god.
Alright, port.
I was gonna tap my own land again.
I don't know how much it matters now. I mean, it's painless uses of recurring nightmare at a minimum. I'm gonna save this gentleman. All right, I suppose we will play on a City of Brass because it was what we drew. And we'll go ahead and attack, and if my opponent wants to block, that's cool too. And if not, then we'll... Yeah. All right. All right, Recurring Nightmare. I think we want to do a Wall of Blossoms, trading this dude to draw into Pourquoi. That dude, well, that dude's fine. But I think it's better just to continue to mana starve my opponent, so I'm going to get an Avalanche of Right Airs here. Yep. And we'll see if... All right, so that's more damage to my opponent, which is not horrendous. And actually, if they use it once, it puts them in a multiple of 2 off of Mog Fanatic with the Recurring Nightmare, which is moderately interesting.
2, 3. Yeah. I needed like a land 4 turns ago.
Yeah, like the slow grind of the Avalanche Riders. Well,
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, well.
All right. Well, I think we can trade here pretty easily. I don't really want to pay the Echo on that regardless, so...
Nope.
And birds are starting to lose their utility here. They are kind of a nice painless source of damage at this point in time in a sea of painful lands, such as the one I just played. So, Recurring Nightmare.
Oh, wow. That's how survival works, or how Recurring Nightmare works.
Yeah, it can become pretty gross. I mean, it's just straight up tons of value. Slow, grindy value. All right.
It's
Yeah,
much
whatever.
easier on paper, though. Yep. Wow, that was a great land to draw. Yeah.
Is that the 4th Rashad or 3rd Rashad? Okay, you get a damage in.
Take
That
that.
is a thing. It got there.
Did its job this game. We're good.
So good. So good.
All right.
All right, now here's the big question. I want to get in for... Oh, actually, no, we don't even need to do that. All right, this dies. Cool. No.
Just recur Fanatic and ping me.
That's all I'm doing, yeah. I was just like, oh, he's at 3. Lost track. Too much value, man. Too much. I finally drew a survival. Thank goodness for that, right?
Yeah. All right.
And here you go.
Oh, there you go. You finally drew it.
All right, let's cycle this dude. Cycle into this dude. And F it. We're going for the gusto here, man. Hasty, like white attacker. Like, I mean, I can't not do that. Right? I mean, like, I just got to. I mean, I don't care if I take all the damages, right? Doesn't matter. Fire Blast off of the Rashad ports. That's a thing, right? All right. Recurring Nightmare into Akruma, into probably the win.
Definitely the win. Definitely the W. Yeah.
All right, Akroma, get in there, you.
Well, at least I'm not that embarrassed. You killed me with a chroma. I didn't die to my own vortex.
That's true. It was close. It was a close call. Trying to think if there was a card there that could actually win you the game. Not without a mountain. With a mountain, you could have. With a mountain, you could have, especially if I did all the other things I did. All right, well, because you brought in that card, I think I'm going to put Monk Realist back in, because Monk Realist seems a lot better. Maybe even Elvish Lyricist. I don't know. Monk Realist seems good enough. Especially with like a tutor engine that I've yet to see on a regular basis. This deck's okay. Never mind. I thought this deck only had 1 survival. I'm like, this deck sucks. Why would I only have 1 survival in it? What a terrible deck.
Absolutely. Just 1, huh?
Yeah, just 1 survival. That's it. That'd be pretty bad. These Uktabis seem pretty bad.
Just take it out for the
I took out 1. I had 2 Uktabis in there, and I put the realist back in, but I put something else in. So, we're going to see. So, Goblins is actually probably more of an even matchup than I thought. Sly, I think, is a horrible matchup for Sly. Vice Gobos. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, like Sly, I think, is horrible against Rexer. Just too much going on that can just stop that kind of nonsense. But Jordan doesn't have to play here, so we'll see if
no turn 1 gobos.
That is probably good.
It's good for you. It's not good for me.
Probably true. All right, I'm gonna play a Birdie Birds out and say go.
All right.
No shocks, luckily.
No
bolts or whatever.
Not this deck. No turn 2 either.
Doke. That's interesting. So he probably has a haster.
Granger?
No, survival.
Oh. Sounds good.
I'm gonna turn off auto yields just in case he cycles his bird, so I can activate the survival. You may go ahead, good sir. I am cool with you killing my birdie birds.
There's no goblins on the battlefield.
That is true. It would do 0 damage to it. That would probably be bad. Fair point. I mean, you could do it anyways. I mean, it's still a card, right, man? All right, War Chief. Yep, kind of expected that. Was probably the case. Not going to block here. Going to discard Wall of Blossoms.
Okay.
And I'm going to find a Chroma. Seems good, right?
Yeah. Hopefully you don't have a survival in the...
This is the first time I've had survival like in the opener where I'm like, oh, survival deck. It actually plays survival. I have to just draw like a bazillion cards until I get to my stuff. And just cheat my way into it. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and find something else. Probably, what do you think? Like Radiance Dragoons?
That one would be a good one.
Actually, you know what? I'm just going to find Squee. I'm going to find Squee. Yeah, Squee is pretty strong. I'm actually going to jump off of mana here and just play out Recurring Nightmare. And likely probably end the game, but we'll see.
Yep.
Just dumb card.
Like,
I mean, it depends. I mean, you could definitely get into Gang and overwhelm this.
It'll be tough.
Because, I mean, Siege Gang's castable right now, right? So, I mean, that could race this. I'm pretty sure.
I could definitely race that.
Yep.
Let's prepare us for next turn.
I have another surprise coming, though.
I don't like surprises. Not like that.
How do you like worshipping the Acroma?
Well.
What do you think of that? Do you have Anarchy in hand, sir?
No.
You have Anarchy in deck.
No, not in Decklists.
No.
Sorry.
No. Oh no. Not that I think it's great in this matchup, but this draw worked out the way we were kind of talking about in end of game 1 when I was sideboarding. I was like, like how do you beat Worship plus a Chroma on a red deck? Like, can you? Is it possible?
Anarchy would probably be the best choice.
That's the only thing I can think of really. Is there a life loss back because it's damage? but you're pretty much a damage-based deck. There's the worship for you, and yeah, and we're getting in there.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Chroma is still a 3-turn clock, but I'm sure we can figure that out with a squee.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Could also just miscast my Living Death and get like a Wall of Blossoms and Birds back, but then I could just live a Recurring Nightmare back my stuff.
Yep. Alright, let's just ping you.
Alright, cool.
For the sake of pinging you.
And get me down as close to 1 as you want.
Yep.
You can get me to 1.
Well, against like any other deck, this would have been fine.
No, it's a great hand. Like, you're playing a great set of cards right now, and against like almost every other deck, this would just win. Like, even Wrath of God would still work against it, but he'd probably be dead anyways. You know, I don't know what I die to here, but my guess is whatever you have it's you casting a free spell is probably what I die to. Possibly. You know what could do it is like Masticore plus Skurg Prospector. That could do it. I put some stock in that. That's not horrible.
No, it's not bad at all.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and do this. I'm just going to find some nonsense. I don't even know. Alright, I'll just say this. I think the way that I do die in this game is by allowing you to have like a massive damage engine in the form of a Siege Gang Commander. Although at this point you are on mana for approximately... You can definitely do, what is it called? The silly Patriarch Spitting.
Yep.
But I'm going to get rid of this dude. That at least ties up your mana requirements. Yep, get me again down to 9. I do have to make sure I do not tap my Llanowar Waste or City of Brass once I am dead. Once I'm literally dead. Or like at 2, and then you can just ping me and then I can go to 0. Although I guess no, that wouldn't work. I'd have to literally do it while I was on 1. Alright, yep. That guy's dead.
Well, that doesn't help.
Yeah. Is it Chroma get there? A Chroma worship? Alright, Pile Driver. Well, it's a dude that's quite large. Probably get blocked this turn.
Yeah, I had this, but still not going to do anything. It's good against your Dragoons, but everything else is...
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's not prevention, right? Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's life gain, yeah. So the card that would do it here, block the 13 power attacker, would be something like, what's the card called? I can't think of it right now. Everlasting Torment, but I don't know if that's legal in this format. It may be too new.
It's too new.
That card would do it, or Reign of Gore would do it.
I think what I'd have to do is I'd have to like play like a cranial extraction kind of card.
Yeah, there's got to be something else, like artifact damage. No, that wouldn't work. Trying to think. Yeah, you could play like Memoricide. Memoricide actually wouldn't be horrible. Yeah, Memoricide, I think that's old enough.
No, it's not. Scars.
Oh, it's not?
Yeah, Scars. Ah,
I'm bad at this. Yeah, at 1. Well,
if you didn't have worship.
Yeah. Being fair, though, this hand was completely, like, I don't think this hand was great outside of setting up in a Chroma plus worship. Like, that was kind of the whole, like, game plan for this hand.
Yeah.
So this hand really didn't do a whole hell of a lot, like, outside of that. Like, if you had a turn 1 Lackey, I could have just gotten overrun there. So I don't think the game was, like, completely in the bag. I think I had to kind of hope on you not having a turn 1 Lackey, and then, like, no turn 1, no turn 2. You know, kind of told me, yeah, he has a higher investment hand, but I had a higher investment hand, but my high investment hand probably does more powerful crap than your high investment hand does.
Yeah.
From the standpoint of like, just, you know, worship is just probably unbeatable unless you have anarchy right now.
Yeah.
So good games, man. I think I'm gonna call it there unless you want to play another one, dude. But we've been at it for a few hours, I'll say.
Yeah,
that's a pretty sweet game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. All right, brother. Well, I definitely enjoyed the gaming as always. I'm a dipshit. I did not hit record on my end to the first half of the gameplay, and I noticed it about then when I got up to go grab something to drink. So I hope you recorded it, and we get to see it.
Yeah, we totally will. Yeah, I recorded
All right,
it
man.
for sure. Cool, man.
All right, awesome, dude. Thanks again for the games, and take care of yourself, man.
Yeah, you too.
All right, brother. Later now.
Later.